Hey guys, Tarke here. I wanted to do another quick update on the Lightning Arrow Deadeye because we've done a few changes with it, and I also want to quickly thank someone from the YouTube comments who was very helpful. Margins Vistaloot? Margin? Sorry if I've butchered your name, but you have been very helpful. You reminded me about the existence of the Dream Jewels. At the start of the league, I was really excited to play with these, and I really wanted to fit one of these into the Gladiator build, but at the time I couldn't justify the cost. And this cost me about 120 chaos and very much worth. I'm very on the fence about whether or not I want Brooch to go into the main game because of these jewels. I've been wanting Brooch to go into the main game because there's a lot of items that I like, but nearly all of the Chayula items are kind of iffy. So what this does briefly is gain 5% of lightning damage as extra chaos damage. There's also the red dream, which is fire, and the green dream, I'm guessing, which is cold. Passives granting lightning res or all res in radius also grant an equal chance to gain a power charge on kill. So here in the Shadow Start we get nullification. You see it has 8% chance to gain a power charge on kill because it has 8% all res. Now I'm finding that I have enough clear speed in pack size roll to maps that 8% is enough to maintain my 3 power charges. If you wanted a more consistent and a more reliable uptime, you could slap it into this jewel here and pick up Cloth and Chain. This would give you 15% chance. Now what this does is it means that we can drop Herald of Thunder, so we free up, not only do we free up a aura slot, we also free up a curse slot because we don't need Assassin's Mark to generate power charges. This is incredibly powerful. This opens you up to so many different things, so again, thank you for reminding me that this jewel exists. This is amazing. It also gives a decent amount of tooltip. So if you look, 19.1k with no buffs up and 3.688 chaos, take it out. Drop down to 18.2 and 3.4. Still not amazing, but it's like a decent tooltip boost, and considering it also gives power charges, frees up a curse slot, frees up an aura slot, amazing. This is something which could be bad for the game long term if everyone is planning their builds around having this item, because, yeah. At the same time, it is very liberating for a lot of right side of the tree bow builds, so I'm very on the fence of if I want this being in the main game or not. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Anyway. So what does this let us do? It's let us do quite a few things. There are a few options that I was picking between, and I'll give it to you guys so you can know what to play around with. I opted for Arctic Armor. Now, I wanted more layers of defense. Fizz mitigation is something I'm weak to, and it gives me more fizz mitigation. Another thing which I like about Arctic Armor is the chill. Very underrated. Chilling is good. Now, for Curse, we get to do Temp Chains, Curse on hit Snake Bites. Snake Bites are a very easy glove to corrupt. They're like 1 to 2 chaos each. The only roll you worry about is the life roll. It rolls 60 to 70. You don't really care if you get a bad roll or a top roll. Also, people chain corrupt these, trying to get vulnerability on hit, because these are staple in all of the King of the Forest builds, which are very popular. Because of that, the Temp Chains corruption is very undervalued, and you can buy them for cheap. I bought this particular pair for only 25 chaos in Breach Hardcore. Absolute steal. There are multiple up right now listed for about 40 to 50c. You can also just spam corrupt these yourself, and if you get lucky you get a vulnerability one and sell that on. Why not use vulnerability even though I am a poison build? Most of my damage, well 40% of my damage is still lightning based. I have a lot of damage which isn't poison based. Temp Chains makes my poison better because it makes it last longer, and it's defensive. I play in hardcore, I like the defense. I would recommend Temp Chains over vulnerability, even in softcore, because we don't have 100% chaos conversion. Now, the other options you have is Purity of Lightning. Purity of Lightning is, if I remember correctly, 44% lightning resistance at level 20. Because we're using Voice of the Storm, you can also use Choir of the Storm if you want to. Crit chance, lightning res equals crit chance. That's straightforward. So that would turn Purity of Lightning into a 44% crit chance, and it gives a max lightning res. Max lightning res makes you just generally more defensive, very nice in Breach with random super lightning mobs popping out, and also it makes running reflect maps even easier for this build. Voltaxic already has a pretty good time running reflect maps. Because not all of our damage is converted, we still do have a pretty sizable amount of lightning damage. And once you get everything rolling, because we are using a cones, because we're not running Grace, our evasion isn't that high, and our accuracy is okay-ish. Now, we do take Arrow Dance. I keep forgetting they changed that. So we do take Arrow Dancing. So Burst Reflect, generally we're fine. I've run Reflect maps with a character, sort of fine. I'm making a point not to run them that much though, or if I do run them, only because they have very nice pack size and like no rippy mods. The problem you have with LA is it off-screens really hard. Now, it's a very nice strength in the fact that you can kill things like 3 screens away, which is really cool, but if there's like an undying pack, or just anything awkward where you can't quite kill it, you can chunk yourself pretty low. I was running Reflect maps, not a care in the world, and then I randomly went down to like 1.5k HP and had to spam. I was like, fine, oh, spam pots, and I was like, okay, I have no pots left on 1k HP, leave map, okay, let's not run Reflects. So running Purity of Lightning would make that a lot easier. Another thing you can do very easily is just take out Lightning Arrow and run Tornado Shot, which lets you run the Reflects, not a problem. So we already have options, but if you didn't want to do Arctic Armor, that is a very good thing. Another thing which is kind of nice about Arctic Armor is a 25 reservation versus 35%, meaning we have more mana to play with, making less regen maps much less of an issue, and it makes no leech maps much less of an issue. And again, because we have a +2 mana gained on hit duel, we have just a lot of just mana regen and stuff, we can run no leech maps fine without having to use a mana potion. The other big option is running Grace. That is particularly powerful if you go for the duelist cloth and chain route. You get a bunch of evasion scaling, you get evasion scaling here. It opens you up to potentially using a Queen of the Forest if you're in softcore, or if you have GG rares and you're using a rare helmet with stacked lightning res to get crit instead of a rat's nest and very high life. If you can do it that way, keep the life above about 6.5k-ish, then I think it's justifiable and worthwhile. You'll notice a very big clear speed increase. However, right now, the way that I'm currently doing the gear with both a rat's nest and a voice storm, so 2 pieces of the outlife, I really don't want to drop the combs. Another thing, don't drop Marauder start. I've been playing around with it a lot. You do lose 10% life because it's 6 points here versus 6 points here, but you get a bunch of flat strength, you get a bunch of flat life. It's about 100 HP difference for my build where I'm currently at. That's with a combs. It's even less if you don't have all this flat life, obviously. And for 100 life, you get 40 strength on 1.8% regen. 1.8% regen puts us well into positive regen. Very, very nice. It makes running vulnerability maps with Blood Rage not much of an issue at all. You have slight degen, but it's not that bad. Doing vulnerability with like less regen with only 3.6% base is really frustrating. I like it. If you don't like it, you can spend it here. And again, if you want more deeps, you can instead spend 6 points up this way, getting Written in Blood and then getting Arcing Blows, but I wouldn't recommend that until or if double dipping gets touched. If double dipping gets touched, Arcing Blows becomes amazing, but this is 54% damage versus Proj, which double dips poison, and yeah. So, what's kind of next for this character? Where am I going with it? It's 89, I am going to keep pushing it, and I'll just keep playing it until either I get dreadfully bored or until it rips, so probably the latter. We have still got upgrades we can make to the gear. I will eventually replace my helmet with a GG stacked lightning res. By stacked, I just mean like 45% lightning res. Lots of life with a good uber enchant helm with a bunch of flat accuracy. Until then, I'm just going to use the rat's nest. I want to upgrade my jewelry, and I want to upgrade my belt. I'm kind of still on the fence about using Voice of the Storm. I can upgrade to Choir of the Storm, but to do that I need to get some into my gear or take Wisdom of the Glade. Currently, I don't think it's worthwhile. The good thing about Choir of the Storm is it does have the 50% increased lightning damage with crits. Obviously very powerful. Also getting the level 20 lightning bolt. You know, with some chaos conversion, it does decent-ish damage. It's not that huge, but it's whatever. Anyway, this is where it's at right now. I'll keep giving you updates as it goes. I'm now gonna hopefully, you know, cut in some Uber and some map stuff. So enjoy that. I'm Tarke, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
When one defiles the effigy, one defiles the Emperor. Give no quarter. is no escape.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Don't give up yet. You are inexhaustible. The people kneel before their true sovereign. An emperor is only as efficient as those he commands. Stay the course. Give up yet. Must I do everything myself? Find your determination. Inexhaustible. Prove yourself, Ascendant. Determination overcomes domination. This is the one law of sovereignty. The Empire awaits you with open jaws. There is no escape. Show me your resolve. Failure is an illusion.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Make your mark. triumphant at last.